Hello, Void. So, naturally, on Christmas, I watched a Christmas movie. Two, in fact, but I've already reviewed Muppet Christmas Carol, so don't need to talk about that one again. However, I've not yet talked about Scrooged. Now, I've only seen Scrooged a couple of times, which I was glad to actually get around to seeing it again, since I've only think seen it once in recent memory, and maybe once when I was much younger. So, Scrooged is the 1988 Bill Murray take on A Christmas Carol. And it's got to be one of the first meta attempts at A Christmas Carol since, well, Bill Murray plays Frank Cross, our Scrooge archetype, who's the head of a TV network who's putting on a big live production on Christmas Eve of A Christmas Carol. So, he's the ultimate nightmare boss, demanding people come in, work Christmas, then is giving out shoddy Christmas gifts, fires someone right on Christmas, fires Bobcat Goldthwait, he's got to be one of my favorite parts of the movie, so it sets up a great chain of events there. And generally is just an unpleasant, greedy Scrooge. Especially when his commercials for his Christmas Carol literally kill someone because it gives them a heart attack. He just views it as good publicity. And yeah. So when he's told by his then dead mentor or that he's going to be visited by three ghosts, he thinks he's just been drinking too much or has gotten tainted tainted whiskey. So he immediately, in a panic, reaches out to the one that got away, a girl from his past who he pretty much gave up in order to further his career. And, well, she begins re-entering his life. Now, she's still a philanthropist while he's the mogul. And then goes from there into pretty much reenacting A Christmas Carol, just while they're trying to put on a production of A Christmas Carol simultaneously. Now, I do like the interpretations of the ghosts. Ghost of Christmas Past being this chain-smoking cabbie. Ghost of Christmas Present being this really over-the-top fairy type who talks in a very high-pitched voice that just keeps beating the shit out of Bill Murray. And the interpretation of Ghost of Christmas Future is great, with his having like a TV screen for a face, seeming to... It works well. Especially when Ghost of Christmas Future's entrance is literally interrupted by Bobcat Goldthwait with a shotgun. There's a lot of things happening all at once, so the Christmas Carol is being interrupted itself by the other events of the movie. And the movie does hold up very well. It's still hilarious, though at the beginning it is very hard to get sympathetic towards Bill Murray's character because he is such an ass. But as it goes along, he does still have that Bill Murray charm about him. And so even though he is hard to root for at times, when he does take the change of heart thing, it's easy to fall in line behind him. The humor works very well. It is still a very funny movie. It's a little slow to get launched, but once it does very well. Particularly when, for me, it really picks up once the Ghost of Christmas Present starts showing up. Before that, it's just like you're getting frustrated with how much of a jerk Scrooge really is. Or, I say Scrooge, but Frank Cross really is. So, I think at the end of Ghost of Christmas Past, when you do start seeing what made him this way, it does start getting there. So, yeah, Scrooge still holds up. It's still funny. There are some parts that maybe haven't aged as well, and some parts that have aged too well, like when Bill Murray ends up in a sewer and just looks around, is like, where am I? Trump Tower? Entirely different connotations from the 80s to here. That got a good laugh. So, yeah. Scrooged, if you haven't seen it, do highly recommend it. It's Christmas Carol by way of Bill Murray And it works. Alright, so I think that's pretty much all I got on that one. What's a good holiday watch? Otherwise, yeah, but got nothing else on that one, so I'll move right along and see you soon, Void.